Someone had commented on one of my videos, and I don't remember which one it was. I can look it up. But they had said that a 237 could be hand cranked. And I'm moving my machines around. And so I figured I took a spoked hand wheel off of my 1588 right here. And I figured, okay, let's try to convert this to what is called a Frankensinger and put an old hand wheel on here and see if I can hand crank it. And I couldn't. Now, there is someone who makes hand cranks that work for previously electric machines without replacing the hand wheel, and that seller is on eBay. And I think it's a matter of having a different clutch knob assembly that a hand crank fits or something like that. But I wanted to do it the old-fashioned way because if all my machines that are hand crank have the same parts, then they're all easier to fix and maintain. Well, this won't fit. Now, I already knew, if you look at the 237 here, there's a wider plate that hits up against the machine, which allows the bobbin winder to work because there's a rubber tire in there that hits the plate. So I figured that because these are made differently, that plate isn't there, and the bobbin winder wouldn't work. But I still thought it was worth trying, and here's why you can't do it with this hand wheel. This center hole that goes on the main shaft or the axle of the machine is too long. Now, I don't know if not all spoked hand wheels are that long, but it's about an inch and a quarter or an inch and a half long. And where the clutch wheel sits on the 237 is about at least a quarter of an inch recessed into this tube. So I can get the hand wheel on there. I can't get a clutch washer on there that controls whether or not your machine works correctly. Let me see. Right there, that's a clutch washer, and then this is the clutch wheel, and this ring would not fit inside the tube. Now, normally on a hand crank, what happens is where the washer sits is just flush with the edge or just outside the edge. And when you put this on a 237, it's way inside the edge. So that is the dilemma with changing a 237 to a hand crank easily. So if the person who left that message wants to comment on how that can be done, whether it's a different hand wheel or maybe a different hand crank assembly, you know, if you could let us know, because ideally this would be a wonderful hand crank. It would be wonderful. I'm going to put the motor back on this one now. I had it in the cabinet, and I'm trying to organize the different machine heads as I can use them all the time. So the Spartan is actually going to go back to being a hand crank, and I'll have the 99, a Spartan hand crank, a 1588, 89 hand crank, and then I was hoping I could make this one a hand crank too, but I can't.